What's up, y'all? It's your boy KevOnStage, and I'm about to draw my life. Erase. First of all, I've got to let you know that my handwriting sucks. It's terrible. My drawing sucks. Everything sucks, but who cares? I'm still going to draw this. My life. Remember these essays we used to draw when we were kids in the 90s? Shout out to 80s babies, 90s kids. Other people drew them too, but us mainly. I was born in El Paso, Texas. I know that's the worst Texas in the world, but it's a really hard state to draw. Mexico. Pretty much El Paso. It's just little Mexico. It was a very small house on Destello Avenue. I still remember that name. Great grandma, mom, aunt, uncle, 5, 6, another uncle, brother, sister, me, and a little dog. Sunshine. Woof. That's what Sunshine used to say before she ran away because we were too poor. We were poor, man. We were on WIC and food stamps. Our peanut butter came in those big white cans with just a peanut on it and a little piece of bread. It had like water in the top. We loved it though. It was amazing. My brother, Jason, so good at football. We love sports. He was also really good at track. We used to do track races around the house. It was fun, but he always won, even though we had head starts. My brother's really good looking. I don't know why I drew his eyes with triangles, but he's just like sexy J. And then I didn't feel so hot about myself, so I used to just be a little fat boy. Felt fat Kev. That was me. No girls for me, all the girls for Jay. But one day, William D. O'Kelly came and changed our whole little scenario. We left my grandma's house and went and lived with him and my mom in his house. He was in the army. I drew a gun, but it looked like a Civil War gun. This is in the army. So we moved from Texas all the way to Virginia. Is that how you draw Virginia? I don't know. Virginia was really different from Texas. Instead of hot, it was like snowing and it was ice storms and all that. I loved that about it. They even had squirrels. I'd never seen a squirrel, so when we first saw them, we used to take pictures of them, but we never got them developed because we were too poor. After a while, we moved from Virginia to North Carolina, from the south to the south, and my brother didn't come with us. He went back to Texas, so it was just me and my little sister, Michelle. I call her Shelby. She was so fun. I love her. She lives in North Carolina still to this day. And then after that, we moved from North Carolina back to Texas. I don't care if that doesn't look like North Carolina. And that's when I lost my virginity. Where did it go? I don't know. I can't find it. Oh, where did my virginity go? Nobody knows. So, after we lived in Texas, we moved from there to Washington. Not the D.C., the state. Washington rained all the time. Rain, go away, come again another day. All those another days were every day in Washington. I hated that about it. And El Paso was like super hot. The devil, he was like, yikes. And he carried a pitchfork and had devil horns. But not Washington. Just rain and rain and rain all the day long. It was in Washington that I met my best girlfriend, Melissa Denise Marshall. That's my wife now, but then she was my girlfriend. That's her maiden name. And I fell in love. See, there's a heart. I just loved her, man. Once I got with her, I said goodbye to all the hoes. No more hoes. Just one wife to love. We were always in love. We held hands all the time. I had hearts in my eyes because I loved her so much. She's so pretty. She used to wear dresses sometime. And we were so happy. Why did I draw myself much smaller than her? Let me fix that. Now I'm much bigger and taller. Well, a little too tall now. I kind of look like a pedophile, but I'm not. Just imagine we're the same size, okay? But anyway, after a while, high school actually, we went to college at the University of Washington in Seattle. We got married on June 26, 2004. I was so happy, man. I was just so happy. She had a pretty little wedding dress and a head full of weave. I mean, just weave for days, y'all. Just all the weave in the world she wore on our wedding day, but it didn't matter. So one day, she was like, Kev, I'm pregnant. I was like, what? You're preggo? She was like, yes. And I was happy, man. I jumped for joy. Wee, we're having a baby, yes. Is it mine? Yes, it's mine. And she wasn't as happy. She cried all night. Went in the room and locked the door and cried because she wasn't ready to be a mother. And sadly enough, when she was about to give birth to Zay, we got terrible news from the doctor. Dr. Bad News, I'll call him. And he said, your wife may not make it through the night. Her organs are failing and she may die, the baby may die. We're not sure. So hopefully it all works out. But praise the Lord, she got up out the tomb and said, I'm alive. And she was okay. She had preeclampsia. And then little Zay Zay was born. He looks more like a bee in this picture because I can't draw, but oh well, that was Zay Zay. Shortly after, JoJo was born. He had a huge afro when he was a baby, and he's always mad, and he always like, "Daddy, don't kiss me." Ah. So after that, well, during that time, I did plays in theater. Like, that's what we were really good at. We did all these plays, and it was really funny. We even had Tyler Perry people come out and say, "We're going to take you on tour," but our plays never made any money because there wasn't enough black people in Washington to sell them. So we decided to try making videos on YouTube. That looks like a man. That's a camera. Me, Jay, and Ant, the playmakers, said, "We're going to do these videos on YouTube." And lo and behold, we had success. Stuff Black Parents Say, Stuff Black Church Girls Say started. Zay Zay, my lovely son, used to see me editing on my Apple computer. And he was like, "Daddy, I want to do that too." So he did. So we did a video called Growing Up Black. And he was all handsome with his little bow tie, and it went really well. And then JoJo got in on the videos too. And then we did a video called, oh no, I put him on Facebook and Twitter. That's a bird, if you don't know, for Twitter. We did a video called Lazy Parents, and it went crazy. It was on Yahoo and MSN and ABC and World Star. Funny story about World Star. We hate them, but my wife called the corporate offices at World Star and was like, "Y'all better take those comments down." And they listened, so I can give them credit for that. So anyway, Zay Zay from his YouTube videos got the role as Buckwheat for Universal Pictures produced Little Rascals. So we had to move to Cali where the Crips live. But they didn't bother us because, I don't know, I didn't see any. But yeah, Universal made the movie, and that'll be out this year or next. And Zay Zay was in there. But I think I forgot to tell you how I got fired. So I'm going to tell you now. I was working at a bank called Key Bank, okay? And I sat down one day with one of the bigwigs. See, this is her, Lisa. I never forget her name. And she was like, "Kevin, what are your dreams? What are your goals? What do you want to do?" And I said, "I want to do plays and act and make people laugh." And she was like, "Is that right?" And essentially, short after that, they fired me. That's Donald Trump, and that's his hair off to the side. "You're fired." So I got fired because they wanted people who only really wanted to do banking. Came home to my wife and said, "I love you, babe." She was like, "I don't love you." She didn't really say that, but she wasn't very happy with me. So anyway, during this time, I really put a lot of my energy into stand-up comedy, and I mean every single week I did it at Nate Jackson's Super Funny Comedy Show. Shout out to Nate. And it really helped me. I talked about my life and everything, and then later on I got a job at Boeing. So I was doing comedy and making a good amount of money. Denzel wasn't the pilot of our plane. So after that, we did so well on comedy and YouTube that we got to perform at the Staples Center for House with the Sound, and Tracy Evans was in the audience. She was starting a new show, network called Alright TV. So Jason, my brother, tweeted her, and he was like, "Hey Tracy, we are really funny. You should have us on your show." And she was like, "All right." And you guys are signed to Alright TV. So that was good. And then Zay Zay did Awesomeness TV. So we moved from Washington to California, where the Crips live. But they haven't bothered us again. It's just mainly Mexicans, and they're nice. And now, because of YouTube, I live in California, and I'm happy. And I love you guys. Goodbye. Remember these S's? They were so cool. All right, that's enough. See you later.